Awesome. So welcome everybody to this midday chance to give ourselves a break from all the stuff that's been going on already in the earlier part of the day, and just to do our best to disengage from anything that we think might be coming later. Of course, it's all uncertain. We don't know anything for sure. So we do know that we're here together, which is really awesome, and we're breathing. That's about it. So yeah, it's a flow yoga class, and so we'll be moving quite a bit. The theme for my classes this week is just to take this, what we might consider to be pretty dismal weather, a lot of the wet and the winds and all that wildness, and just have a bit of a different perspective in the way of this is just nature cleaning us out, cleansing some of the tight areas in the body, making some space, and using your own, obviously, sensation and judgment to do that safely, and the mind, some of the gunk and the goo that has been holding on. Every day it kind of builds up, and if we just empty it out, and it can be just this simple thing of going through just a period of stopping and moving with our breath. So let's get into it. Hi, Steph. So I'm going to start in child's pose. You can use any props that you like. All I have today is a flat blanket underneath my knees. So if you have tender knees and you'd like to do that, if you like to use blocks and other things to raise your hands, if we're doing some lunges, then have what you need around, or you can just grab a wall. Don't have to go very far for this. I'm just going to begin just to play around with finding what could be a comfortable child's pose. And if being on your knees for a couple of minutes is not going to be a happy place, you could sit, or for the same opening up in the back, then you could have the soles of the feet together with a long diamond shape. So we have choices. We always have choices in how we perceive what's here right now and how we move into it. But first we have to stop. So allowing yourself to be here, to land in the pose, and to feel what's present right now. It could be sensations of gravity or pressure, the weight of your body, the support of the ground. You might be connecting with an area of the body that feels like it is gripping. And so you can let your attention rest on that, perhaps, not to try to shift or wish for it to go away, but just to let your attention rest on where there might be some tightness. It might be the hips or the back or the tops of the feet, something in the face. Just taking a few clearing breaths there. So to use the breath really actively to empty out today. So let's have the breath coming in through the nose and visualizing that emptying out with the mouth open. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and filling it all the way up and holding there. Feel what it's like to be on full. And then empty, 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 connecting with the sensations that help to release everything from your lungs. Do a couple more of those. Filling and making some space, and then emptying, emptying, emptying all the way to the very bottom. And take a moment to pause. Let's do one more. And make some sound to release. And just come to stillness again with the breath coming in and out through the nose. If you're okay to breathe, allow the breath to flow in that manner. And just check in with the mind, with the mental activity, and see if there might be some emotional tone or some agitation or gripping, some frustration, something that you've been working on, and allow that to be in your awareness right now. It's okay. It's here anyway, so just let that be. We're not trying to get rid of anything. We're just making some space. See if we can dissolve and soften a little bit around that emotional tone or that thought pattern. And then let's shift to the table shape. So coming off, if you were in the child's pose, let's curl the toes under and just get a nice stretch out through the bottoms of the feet. So send some weight back through the heels and walk the hands in a little closer if you can, stretching out the bottoms of the feet, or come to sit right back up on your heels and do a few circles out of the shoulders. Maybe we've been focusing at a screen or sitting at a desk, working in the garden. So just release with a few easy circles. And you might keep the mouth open if that helps with the release. Let's come all the way up and flip the palms towards each other. And then we'll do just a circle with the both arms coming as far back as you can, with the palms flipping upwards. So keep reaching back, 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 and then flip the palms towards each other. So the thumbs will be coming into touch, or towards that direction. They won't touch probably. And then bring it all the way up. And again, palms face each other, forward and down. We're still stretching out the tops of the feet. Flip the palms towards the ceiling so the thumbs are facing in, and then do that big swim out and up. Let's do one more time. So forward, palms face each other. Reach back as far as you can and just open up the palms towards the ceiling. Breathe in there. Start to move the hands a little closer together, and then when the shoulder blades are squeezing, flip the palms the opposite way so the thumbs are coming a little together, and then reach it up. And then let's bring the tops of the feet down again and take it into that child's pose just for the exhale. And then shift into tabletop, inhale. Let's curl the toes under and sit back towards the heels and press the hips up to downward facing dog. Take the feet nice and wide apart. Press the palms forward and just shake the head a few times in any direction, bobbing, literally draining the contents of the brain. Anytime you'd like to open the mouth today, just as a reminder that we're just going with the nature and rinsing out. Let's let the right heel drop and keep the left knee deeply bent. Send the hips over towards the left and give an extra juicy press to the right palm. To look underneath the right armpit. And then switch, so bend the right knee deeply. Let the hips swing to the left as the left heel drops and peek underneath the left arm. Inhale through center here, and let's shift forward to a plank pose. And then press the hips up and back and exhale. Bend the knees a lot. Stick the seat up a little higher. Start to straighten out the legs a little, shifting forward to plank pose on the inhale. Belly lifts. And then on the exhale, hips hinge up and back. Bend the knees a lot. Send the belly back towards the thighs. Pressing the palms forward. Take another inhale there. Exhale, legs straighten, come forward to that plank pose. Let's bring the left forearm down and then the right forearm down. You can keep your hands shoulder distance apart, or bring the thumbs together if that feels too much, and puff up between the shoulder blades for 3, 2, and 1. Let's tap the knees down and take it into a forearm tabletop. So bring the elbows in a little bit closer. And then peel it up into a cat spine there on the exhale. And then on the inhale, pull the heart forward, let the tailbone lift up. So feel the shoulder blades moving together. Exhale, shoulder blades widen. Inhale, give it a squeeze, energetically pull the forearms back. Exhale, we're moving back into that cat shape and then stretching the right leg back and the left leg back. So it's a forearm plank now. Lifting the underside of the body and pressing back through the heels. Trying to keep wide open through the back of the heart. One more inhale there. Knees come down, and this time wiggle the elbows forward. Hands can be clasped or apart for a Sphinx pose, pressing the tops of the feet to the floor. Let's take 3 breaths there, just receiving breath in the belly. It's 1, if you feel tightness in the lower back or any gripping there, then walk the elbows further forward for 2. Last breath in and out, lower down. Swim the arms towards the back of your mat. Just let the forehead rest. Let the palms come in to face each other. Press the toes to the floor. Loop the shoulders a couple of times. Reaching down towards the feet and lifting the belly as you reach the crown of the head forward. And then let's spin the palms to the ceiling again so the thumbs are facing in towards each other. And squeeze, squeeze, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Energetic heart opening. Just getting some strength under the scapula. Maybe your legs want to float up as well. Let that movement come from the upper inner thighs, rolling towards the ceiling for 1 more breath in. Like you're fogging a mirror. Press the palms in towards your low ribs. Lift the belly and bring it up and back again. Let's take it into child's pose for 3, 2, and 1. Shifting back to that table shape. So let's have the hands a little bit ahead of your shoulders and just squeeze the elbows, forearms down towards the floor. Inhale, press the arms to straight, and then exhale to squeeze the forearms in. Once more, inhale. Exhale, hug the forearms, hug the elbows in, and again, you can either press inner palm really firmly there, thumb and first finger, or clasp the hands together. Peel it into cat on the exhale, and then step the left leg back and the right leg back, so we're back in that forearm plank. And look just between the thumbs or just down towards the ground so the back of the skull lifts and the neck can stay nice and long for another breath. Just feeling whatever you're feeling energetically, maybe some heat, tapping the knees down. And this time let's lower and take the fingertips wide and lift the elbows, pressing the toenails to the floor to come up into a baby cobra. And then exhale, take the left shoulder down, looking underneath the right arm. Inhale, so revolving the rib cage, dropping the right shoulder to the other side. Exhale, look left. Inhale, center, and exhale, looking to the right. And 1 more time, inhale. Left side, exhale. Coming up here and reaching the arms, swimming them back again, flipping the palms to the ceiling and squeeze the thumbs together. Legs, toes press or float up for 1 more inhale. Exhale. Low ribs, press up and back. Downward dog. If you have something underneath your knees there and you'd like to just take it out of the way so we have a little more freedom to move here, let's go for that deep knee bend again. Exhale. And then press the heels to the floor. Inhale. See if you can keep the hips lifted as you exhale. Bend the knees. And inhale to lengthen out the legs. Last time, bend the knees deep, deep, deep here and walk the hands back towards the feet. Folding over the legs. You can have a generous bend at the knees. Give the hamstrings some time here. Let the arms dangle or clasp in front, or might have another shape that you'd like to take with your arms. I'm going to clasp mine just behind my lower back and then lengthen out the arms and tuck the chin towards the chest for 3, 2, and 1. Let's drop the seat and lift the chest. And so if you do have your hands clasped, they're still clasped behind your back. And then fold over the legs. Exhale, release the head, neck, shoulders. The inhale drops the seat and lifts the heart. And the exhale, just enjoy that release. And one more time, inhale here. And let's stay for the exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs and just continue to send the breastbone up towards the ceiling. Let's drop the right ear over to the right shoulder. And then take a look over the right shoulder, nodding the chin down a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, chin through chest, just rolling through the neck. And then drop the left ear, left shoulder. Take a breath in. And exhale, chin to chest. Let's reach the arms up. Inhale. And exhale, lower the arms. Let's just do a few big circles with the right arm. So bring it up and back. And try to spin the palm open as you reach it back. So just that reach up. Spin the palm open, reach as far back as you can. And then flip the palm to face inwards, reaching that up. Try not to do a lot of movement in the hips just yet. And then reach it up and come all the way around so you can spin your hips, your rib cage over towards the right side of the space. Just keep kind of wrapping the right hip a little bit forward energetically for one more inhale. And exhale, come back with that arm, reach it up and take a side stretch. Exhaling, press into the right foot. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, lower both arms. Just the left arm now, so reach it up and back, palm is facing in. And then start to open it up, spin the palm towards the ceiling. You can have a little bend at your knees. And then palm facing in again as you come up. And open without taking the hips. With it, on this last one, let's open and then let the ribs spin. You can let the hips start to open as well, but energetically, a little bit of an action of drawing that left hip crease forward in opposition. For one more inhale. Exhale, come back halfway, and then take it up and over into the side stretch. Exhale. Let's come back through center and do a few circles with both arms and just a little bit of snapping of fingers or making some raindrops. Just going out and around and little fists. And release. Let the arms dangle out. Let's move through a flow, bringing in some lunge and some twist. Inhale and fold on the exhale. And come up halfway as you breathe in. And exhale here, empty it all out. Fingertips are on floor or blocks if you like, and take the right leg back. Let's come into a low lunge and stay light in the hands, whatever it is that may be on the floor as you press out through the back heel, and just look forward. Try to keep some of that broadness through the collarbones for an inhale. And exhale, tap the back knee down. Let's take the right hand right off the mat and spin the fingertips out a little bit. And then start to do a big circle over towards the right with the left fingers and open up to the left. Inhale. And then exhale, reach to the right and open it up. You might turn your left toes out a little bit and hug the left hip crease in as you reach to the right on a diagonal and then open it up. And one more time, reach, 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 and then open it up and let your left hand come just to rest or support the back of the skull, settling the hips a little lower for 3, 2, and 1. Let's peel the belly up and take the left elbow towards the right elbow. A little twist to the right. And then open up the left elbow again, sink the hips, and exhale, peel the belly back, elbow to elbow. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. Let's shift back to a More centered low lunge. You can keep the back knee down or you can lift it up and send the left hip crease back. Shifting into low lunge. Just a few rocking lunges, connecting with breath, making space, rinsing out in that back and hip and spine. Inhale. And exhale. Press into the palms. Let's just step back, downward facing dog. And shift through to plank. So we'll move through a vinyasa. Tap the knees down, exhale, and narrow the elbows to lower. And just a regular cobra this time, looping the shoulders to send the heart forward. Exhale, release, press the palms, lower and come up and back through table. Child's pose or downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths just to come to stillness. Just appreciating what we easily take for granted. So what's here now? Body, breath. Reasonably healthy. Things working. Just doing what they do automatically. All of the systems in the body. Let's turn the toes out this time so that the heels come in a little. See what this feels like to walk the hands back towards the feet and come into a little squat. So that the knees go wide and then find some of that heart lift. And then let the heels drop and peel the hips up, chin to chest. Into the little squats. You can lift your heels, inhale. And exhale, peel it up. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. Let's parallel the feet again. Belly to thighs, dangle the arms, or they can come to the low back. If you know what thumb was on top the last time, then try to switch it up. Exhaling once more, and then inhale, dropping into that seat, squeezing shoulder blades. Exhale to fold. And inhale, just one more time. Pause in this chair pose. Come all the way up on an inhale, reach the arms. Do a few more of those big wide circles, walking up towards the front of your mat. Reaching the arms up, inhale and fold, exhale. Halfway lengthen. Exhale, belly to thighs. Let's take the left leg back this time. And just pause in the low lunge. Find your hands. Find a core lift. The front left. Hip flexor psoas. Hug the right hip. Back and in a little bit for another breath there. Exhaling to take the left hand off and spin the fingers out a little bit further forward from the shoulder. And so your back knee could be up or down. Reach forward on that left diagonal with the right fingers and then open up towards the right. Inhale. And then exhale, trace it over towards the left. Inhale to open. Exhale to reach left on that diagonal. You could turn your right toes out a little. Open, hug the right hip to center. And then exhale there. And then this time as you open, let your right hand can rest on the shoulder or support the back of the head. I'm going to bring my left knee down, a little more space to wrap the left ribs under. And then almost like you're coming into a cat. So lift the hips a little bit, take the right elbow towards the left elbow. Open on the in-breath and exhale, lifting the ribs. Find a little flexion. Open, keep engaged in the right outer thigh, hugging in, and exhale there. Good, and then come back through center and take your hands on either side of the front foot, again for low lunge, inhale. Back knee can stay down, or if you prefer to lift it, that's where you might need some blocks for straightening the front leg. And sitting into lunge, and then exhale to take it back. Once more, inhale. And exhale, take it back. We'll plant the palms, bend the front knee, and step to downward facing dog. One more vinyasa before we bring it down. Forward to plank, knees tap, exhale to lower. Inhaling here. Exhale, lower. Let's take the arms in a T position wide. Just rest the forehead for a moment. Let it go. Let's crawl the left fingers a little further away. Start to look to the right so you can rest your left ear, cheek on the floor. And make a tent with your right fingers. Let your right arm come into that right angle shape with the elbow just above the wrist. Then start to shift right onto your left hip and let the right leg reach back a little. Keep some containment in the low belly. You could scissor your inner thighs. You could bend the right knee. Option also to lift the head a little bit up if that feels better for one more breath. Exhale, spinning back to center. Stretch the right arm out this time. Adjust. Left fingertips to the floor. Left wrist underneath left elbow. Start to shift onto your right hip. Swing the left leg long. It doesn't have to swing back, just long. The right leg could float a little bit and even swing forward to give you that balance. Find a little flexion so that curve, almost like you're tucking the tailbone, just slightly a pelvic tilt to protect the low back for one more breath. And exhale, flutter kick back to center. And press palms to come up and into child's pose. Back into that seed, that little bubble. Seed of potential. I've been looking out my window and seeing all the sort of cursing all the weeds that are out there, and then realizing that maybe those weeds are just nature's way of getting my attention, that it might be some healing to actually go out there and get my hands dirty and make some space for flowers. So just resonating with any space that might be present from a gripping thought. You could take your awareness back to the body part that might have had some tension and just see what's happening there. Doesn't mean that something has disappeared, but just observe. Let's shift over to one side, coming up, and take the legs nice and wide and lean back. We're going to drop the knees over towards the left. And then center on the inhale and knees over towards the right. Over towards the left. And then knees over towards the right. We're going to stay and just set up for a bent knee pigeon shape. We'll incorporate some revolution of the spine here. So walk the right fingers around towards the right hip. Tuck the right side of your bum cheek under, and left hand to the right thigh, looking over the right shoulder. So if you'd like to just stay in this shape, you can just be in stillness and breathe and be with the space that's coming here. If you feel like something more dynamic, then we'll take it into a twist to the left. So just lifting and doing a little twist to the left. And then inhale, right fingers come down. You might reach the left arm back. And then exhale with some affirmation to the left. Inhale, sweep. Looking right, and then exhale to bring it out. And one more time. Inhale and exhale. Bringing the hands back down to support your movement. Slowly, left knee comes up. Slowly, the right knee shin follows. And then just set up the legs so you have a bit of comfort here. You could be sitting up on your blanket or cushion as well. And your right knee could be close up to the left heel, or you can be more in that figure four shape. From here, start to reach the left arm around behind the hip and tuck the left bum cheek under a bit. Resting the right hand against the left thigh, looking over the Left shoulder to stay here. If you feel like coming into some more movement, then it's going to be that ring out back to over towards the right. Forceful exhale, expelling, and then inhale, reaching right arm, and exhale to the right. Inhale, reach, and exhale, bring it out. And one more time, in and out. Slowly travel back to center. And take your feet just comfortably wide. Press yourself up into a squat. Bringing the elbows in or fingertips on the floor. Dropping the tailbone, chin to chest. If it's available to take the hands behind the skull, so almost like a child's pose here for 3, 2, and 1. Release the head. Fingertips to floor, lift the hips up again and wiggle the feet back towards each other. Just a straight dangle over the legs. It's a practice of continuously draining things out, going with the rinse. It's just happening since the body's breathing. Nothing we have to do. Slowly roll up. Lots of breath here. When you come to standing, if you're feeling dizzy, just take a moment. Fill the lungs. And then just a really loose, so no effort at all, just a bounce, just a shake. And dust some things off. Just literally wiping things away. It's like you were in the shower. Down the arms, palms, insides and outsides of the forearms and upper arms. The chest, the ribs, the low back, the legs, like you have some powder on them. All the way back down again, and then just land in a seat. Bringing yourself onto the back with the knees hugging into the chest and rock a little side to side. If you're up for one more twist, knees will fall over towards the right elbow, just letting your seat swing off the mat for 3 breaths there. If you've had enough of the twisting, then you can be in Shavasana, resting. Second side, when you're ready, left knee comes up, right knee follows, and the whole lower body just swings over to the left. Maybe a crack or a pop. Just letting the spine unwind here. Inhale, center, and exhale. Feet to the floor, adjust your hips. Pick up your head, legs can go long, your knees can stay bent, looking down to the whole line of your body, and then traction the spine out to allow the palms to flip open or rest on the torso, just for 1 minute of rest here. Coming back with the awareness to that area in the body physically that had some tension at the beginning of class. And seeing what's there now without it needing to be gone or different, just making note. Checking in on the mental landscape as well. emotional tone that's here right now. Things that may return but don't stick or last forever. Having some of that softness, openness, a little more open to meet the rest of the day for whatever is there, with our eyes wide open. Taking a stretch if you feel like that. And over to one side. And then pressing up to take a seat. Letting the palms come together and just rubbing them together there. Feeling that energy coming back into the extremities. And then resting the hands, sort of a butterfly shape over the heart. Connecting with your own lungs, life force. And also acknowledging each other's presence and support as we continue to appreciate each day, each practice, each moment as if it were new, because it is not the same. Namaste. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
You're so